Berkey Avenue Mennonite Fellowship is a vibrant 250-person congregation in Goshen, Indiana, that has experienced significant growth over the last 10 years. While the congregation is committed to sustainable practices, there is always room for growth and expanded thinking. In this video, we will explore Berkey Avenue Mennonite Fellowship's current carbon footprint, briefly discuss positive impacts of previous work, and identify recommendations to lessen Berkey's climate impact. An analysis of Berkey's carbon footprint shows several areas of strength and also helps identify areas of improvement. But first, let's examine why a thorough analysis of a carbon footprint matters. Why do transportation emissions or building efficiency matter in the context of regional and global climate trends? Well, we know that greenhouse gas emissions have increased exponentially since the Industrial Revolution, causing global temperatures to rise. As a result, climate change is negatively impacting people across the world, especially individuals who live in sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and various island states. Locally, climate change impacts crops, increases severe weather patterns, and can cause health problems for vulnerable populations such as children and older adults. As members of the global community, decisions made by Berkey not only impact our neighborhood and city, but each human across the world created in God's image. Let's take a look at how we measure the true costs and benefits of Berkey's environmental impact. In terms of physical space and utilities, much of Berkey's use is offset by its robust solar panel array. Over the past year, Berkey's panel generated enough clean energy to almost fully offset its electricity consumption, achieving net zero electricity use in 2025. As a congregation, Berkey does not produce much physical waste. The church utilizes one trash can that is taken out weekly and one recycling container bi-weekly. Many processes have been fleshed out over the years to reduce waste, including members bringing their own tableware for potlucks and using ceramic mugs for coffee. A new ad hoc process of composting has taken root within the congregation due to the personal interest and initiative of a few members. Coffee grounds are taken out after Sunday services. Over the past 10 years, additional steps, shown here, have been taken to reduce the ecological impact of the physical church building. The Berkey Outdoor Sanctuary is an important part of carbon sequestration efforts. The land directly north of Berkey's church building and parking lot includes a community garden, a wildflower garden, and the Berkey Woods. In 2021, the congregation raised $150,000 for the creation of a columbarium and outdoor worship space. In 2022, 100 volunteers of all ages planted 700 native trees on the back quarter of the property. The wildflower garden and woods sequester nearly 6,400 pounds of carbon per year. This will increase exponentially as the trees grow in size year over year. Berkey's largest environmental impact is from members driving to and from church each Sunday morning. Using in-person attendance records from the 2025 year and estimating the average distance between Berkey and a member's home, analyses show that almost 25,000 pounds of carbon are produced annually. It is worth noting that the congregation is considering an expansion project that would increase the size of Berkey's physical building. Ideas already being considered include making sure the new building does not block the current solar panel array, installing a metal roof, and exploring how to use natural light to reduce electricity. With any construction project, there will certainly be an ecological impact that should be carefully considered. While there are countless ways that Berkey's individual members can reduce their carbon footprint, this analysis is limited in scope to the physical space at Berkey Avenue Mennonite Fellowship and the carbon impact of Sunday church attendance. The following recommendations are scoped accordingly. Utilizing a holistic approach to sustainability that includes strategy, science, and policy, 4 areas for improvement are identified. First, Berkey should engage in long-term strategic thinking about how to formalize the processes and responsibilities tied to creation care. Interviews with current members indicate that creation care is a source of personal meaning and passion, yet it is not integrated into the church's formal organizational structure. Unlike commissions who meet regularly, formulate policy, and make decisions, creation care currently resides with a single coordinator. This arrangement works in the short term, but lacks succession planning and the structure needed to sustain it over time. Berkey's current composting system reflects this lack of formalized roles and processes. A few individuals collect coffee grounds on an ad hoc basis, but when those individuals are absent, the task simply does not happen. Potluck Sundays compound the problem since there is no signage or established system for setting up and removing bins. A third example around informal roles and processes surfaced during data collection on solar panel performance. When the church's administrative assistant was contacted to request solar data, the team discovered that a solar panel component was no longer working and that part of the solar array had been offline for several months. Together, these examples show how informal processes that are dependent on individuals leave creation care initiatives vulnerable to gaps and oversights. Second, transportation represents Berkey's largest ecological impact. Leadership should encourage alternative modes of transportation when it is feasible for members and could also coordinate ride sharing opportunities. Because heating and cooling are Berkey's second largest energy cost, the church should expand its solar array to keep pace with the increased energy demand of a larger building. The church should also make more efficient use of the building, which currently only serves the congregation and sits empty for much of the week. Offering the space to community organizations at low or no cost would put this underused resource to good use. Church leadership should establish ways to introduce green practices and values to new attenders and members. Leadership research supports the idea that a widely shared and explicit culture will help an organization achieve its goals. An orientation to both the outdoor space and Berkey's green practices strongly communicates the congregation's commitment to creation care. Change is an ongoing and carefully discerned process, especially within congregations. These interventions require the support and engagement of the congregation, and thoughtful change management is essential to their successful implementation. Despite the potential barriers of time and resources, reducing Berkey's climate impact is an essential part of living out the church's mission to embody Christ's loving, healing, and caring presence in the world.